Hi everybody, welcome back to Cleff Notes. As you can probably tell, I'm not in my usual filming space this week because some family friends needed to stay in the building where I usually film because they apparently have black mold in their house. Okay, so this week I watched 1962's The Music Man, based on Meredith Willson's Broadway musical of the same name, starring Robert Preston, Shirley Jones, and directed by Morton DaCosta. For all intents and purposes, this movie is about a con artist named, well, we don't know what his real name is, but for this particular scam that he's running in this movie, he's going by the name Professor Harold Hill. The deal is that he goes into this rural bumpkin community in Iowa for this movie's sake and makes a big deal of causing or creating some big scandal that the locals should be worried and feared about for the moral well-being. They just got a new pool table in and they've never seen a pool table before. It's not something they've ever had in the community. So he informs the locals that this pool table going to send their children down the path to smoking doobies in a van down by the river. But he can fix it because what he's going to do is start a boys band, and all they have to do is pay for the instruments and the uniforms. Apparently, he's done this sort of thing in several communities before. He got run out of Illinois for it. The local librarian, Marion Peru, she catches on pretty quick that he's not quite up to par and fishy and starts digging into his past. But it's a love story between him and Marion the librarian. And, you know, there are many wonderful and fascinating things that happen in this movie, featuring a young Ron Howard with a severe lisp, and also women being Grecian urns, and also chickens, and also a musical number set to the noise of a train, and also Shipoopi, which is a musical number about knowing that a girl is the right person for you when she holds out on letting you feel up on her until the third date. There are also parades and drama in an ice cream parlor, a bridge, and Irish people, and an anvil salesman with a vendetta who's really sleazy. But you know, this is honestly a really good musical. I like this one. It's a very lyric-heavy musical. There's a lot of emphasis put on the lyrical content of this movie. In terms of fun facts about this movie, I guess the very big one is that this was yet another instance of a failed collaboration between Shirley Jones and Frank Sinatra. The studio that got into a bidding war and won the rights to produce this film wanted Frank Sinatra to be the star, the lead role, as Professor Harold Hill, because he was still a big name in musical movies at the time. But the composer of the musical, Meredith Willson, was adamant that the original star of the show on Broadway had to play it in the film adaptation, or he would not allow his work to be adapted. And actually, for a musical adaptation of a Broadway show, there were a lot of original cast members in this thing. I mean, there were a few people that were not in the original show. Shirley Jones was not the original Marion, but Harold Hill was, and the quartet of school board members were. Zanita, the actress who played her, she was in the original. Also, she was the same dancer who played Shirley Jones' daughter in Carousel. The town looks really convincing on camera, but it was entirely built on the Warner Brothers backlot, so this whole thing is a set. Shirley Jones was pregnant for a majority of this movie. She found out that she was expecting about 3 months into the shoot, which took 9 months to complete, and so they wound up having to hide everything with frills and buttons, but also a specially built corset. Anyway, I will see all of you next week unless something terrible happens to me in the meantime. Don't forget to possibly like, comment, click, subscribe below. Or, something. I don't know. See you then. Bye.